And the Eagles landed. Welcome back to Gameday Everyday. That was our communicator Dale. He's letting us know when to start the show. And no, but this is Gameday Everyday, episode 43. Yes.
Yes.
Top headlines for the day, boys. Tyson Fury faced Otto.
Yeah. So let's backtrack for a second. So this is headlines. So we're just talking about.
I thought we were just hopping in it.
Biggest topics from the past week, and of course we'll just hop right into it as you just stated.
Yeah.
First one is, we love boxing on this channel. We always cover boxing. Tyson Fury wins this past weekend in the linear championship belt.
Oh man,
against Otto Wallin.
I watched those highlights. Like I watched it before the show, man, and that Otto guy looks like he kind of won a little bit.
Otto looked incredible, and of course he probably dealt the most damage out of it because that huge cut around Tyson Fury's eye.
Yeah, man, bleed, son.
But if you actually watch the whole fight, and I'm not calling any shots out to you.
No, yeah.
But if you actually watch the whole fight, Tyson Fury seemed the most consistent. He was landing most
for
blows.
sure, it's different, the full thing. But I don't know. But from the highlights, he just looked tired.
But highlights don't show the misses, too. And Otto Wallin also had a lot of misses coming later in the later rounds. He started off amazing, though. Mm-hmm. He looked incredible. But I think the main concern about this fight was Tyson Fury had that cut around his eye, of course. And it definitely could have been called out early. You know, they're like, okay, the fight's over. Otto Wallin wins, of course, because, health issues and you shouldn't be bleeding that much when you're fighting.
It can't stop Rocky. You can't stop Tyson. Right?
Rocky is a movie.
Okay.
Secondly,
that's a classic.
Tyson Fury did win this fight by decision. I think it was a unanimous decision over Wallin. So
congrats, Tyson.
One of my favorites.
Next headline: USA basketball loses to Serbia. Way to disappoint your country. This is sad.
Yeah.
Not even a bronze.
But of course, everyone looks at USA losing this, and not even making the final of this tournament definitely is a big loss. But losing the third place game definitely hurts too. But we focus way too much on the USA team losing that we don't look at the Serbia team. Let's give Serbia some credit.
No, they have great players.
USA wasn't a disappointment. Serbia was just a better team. Let's be real.
Yes.
Serbia had a lot of better players, or at least playing a lot better.
Yeah.
Bogdanovic with 28 points, which is incredible.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And Nikola Jokic only with a light 9 points, and I think Boban with 8 points. So your bigs obviously.
Yeah, but they had the height. We don't have the height.
Yeah, that is.
So that's an advantage they had.
All we got is like Miles Turner, right? Mm-hmm. And then who's our backup center?
That I don't know. I only know Miles Turner.
Yeah,
that's a problem.
I only saw Miles Turner. So we could be wrong. There was probably another decent center that we just didn't remember. But sure, it's a tragedy that U.S. lost, but we also need to look at the other team here who just played better. Now, for our third topic, Big Ben goes crashing down.
And the Steelers organization, they're done.
Yes, if you aren't aware, Steelers played this weekend. Ben Roethlisberger got injured and is now out for the whole year.
Whole year, boys. And who's their backup?
Mason Rudolph.
Mason Rudolph.
Oklahoma State product. Mason Rudolph was really good in college. I don't really see that translating into the NFL. He didn't do too bad. I think he only had 100 yards and a touchdown or whatever for the time he did come in. Or I think that was I forgot. I think that might have been his first half or third quarter stats. But he seemed to be doing pretty well. And let's be real, the Steelers' offense wasn't really going anywhere anyways.
No, they lost Antonio Brown. They didn't really have a deep threat anymore.
You're already 0-2. Might as well tank at this point.
Yeah, just get a first-round pick.
I know they picked up Paxton Lynch, too, so that's going to be another QB option.
Wait. Didn't they sign, Fitzpatrick or something?
No, Paxton Lynch. Fitzpatrick plays for the Dolphins.
I remember hearing something about a Fitzpatrick.
The Steelers did trade for Minka Fitzpatrick, but we'll talk about that later in the NFL segment. Okay. Finally, our normal Mets talk that we have every other week.
Mets magic, yes.
Pete Alonso hitting all the home runs. He's officially tied for first place right now with the Eugenio Suarez.
How many is that? 40?
47.
Oh, my God. 47?
Rookie. Incredible. I know. It gives me hope as of our playoff standings right now. That big loss to L.A., of course, in that series. And then, a big loss to Colorado last night. It's looking a little rough for the Mets. I'll say that.
What was that?
It's looking a little rough. I'm not gonna lie.
Look, man, y'all are gonna make the playoffs. Probably won't make the first, out of the first round, but at least you made the playoffs.
We might not even make the playoffs.
Yeah, but you have to have confidence that you will. If we still had Joey Gallo, we would have made the playoffs.
Rangers are a whole nother breed.
And that's facts.
There's a lot they need to fix.
That's facts. But yeah, those are our headlines. So I guess we'll just continue on with the normal show.
Back to basketball.
Yeah, we'll talk about the finals actually.
Now, the people who deserve to be known: Spain winning the FIBA World Cup.
The Spaniards.
What are your thoughts on this team?
I guess they're just better than everybody. I mean, Ricky Rubio, man, that man is underrated.
Yeah, had 20 points in the final against Argentina.
I like Ricky Rubio.
We had a Luis Scola sighting.
Mm-hmm.
Remember him back in the day?
Scola with the Hawks.
And the Rockets.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so Argentina, they definitely put up a fight, if you would call it that.
I mean, kind of, and then the second half, they just kind of took over.
No, yeah, Spain definitely dominated. Mm-hmm. Marcus Gasol played pretty well, too.
Yeah. I think he had like 16.
Yeah.
And then another guy had 6. I don't know. They just scored good that night.
Yeah, Rudy Fernandez, too, played pretty well.
No, hey, if Ricky can do that in the NBA, good job, bud.
So, Ricky Rubio, FIBA World Cup MVP.
Congrats. He will never get a finals MVP, but it's okay.
FIBA World Cup's bigger.
Yeah.
In terms of accomplishments.
Yeah.
That's national. Now, moving on to football. It's officially week 3 of the NCAA season.
Yes! This week is actually a really big week. There's a bunch of teams playing, other ranked teams.
We'll talk about week 4 this upcoming Thursday episode, of course.
Oh, yeah.
But we're just going to be looking back at week 3. Mm-hmm. What we saw, the big upsets that happened, like Arizona State beating Michigan State.
Mm-hmm. I watched the last of that. That was just great. Arizona State stayed in it. They didn't, lose focus. They converted big third downs. And Michigan State, I think they had a flag. I think a flag or two. So, I mean, that cost them the game, too. So, I'm just glad that Arizona State kept in it.
I mean, huge game-winning field goal at the end, too, to give them the win. And especially, this is a big accomplishment for a guy like Herm Edwards, Didn't really have much success in the NFL, of course, with the Jets, and obviously took a hiatus from coaching while on ESPN. Super, it's a very interesting character. But yeah, it's definitely a huge win for him, and I think it definitely shows that his team's now 3-0, and they're actually winning games.
Yeah, and I think if they keep this pace up, it's a bowl game. Easy.
Especially in a division where the Pac-12 isn't doing too hot. It's definitely
it's good to represent your division.
Yeah. Now, speaking of another team in the Pac-12, Washington State picked up a big win against Houston this past weekend, 31-24.
Houston lost. Wow.
Washington State, they've always had a good team. Mike Leach is a great coach, of course. So I'm not surprised that they won that game, and I'm
surprised Houston gave up that many points. They usually have a really good defense. So I mean that kind of surprised me there.
I mean we saw them give up that many points to OU.
Yeah, but OU's different.
OU straight destroyed them. That was
bad. They always have a really you can't guard that. You can never guard their offense. Continuing
on the topic of Pac-12 teams and OU, UCLA versus OU. 48-14.
Jim Kelly, bro, what is going on?
Chip Kelly is probably, I don't know. He's not the same. I think
it's tough.
I think everyone's figured out his system now, and I can't stand the guy. Don't get me wrong. I think he's a terrible person. But
look, man, he's got to get stuff together.
Plus, it's an OU team where Jalen Hurts is playing lights out right now.
Yeah, he's a top 5 Heisman.
I didn't even see UCLA having a chance going into
No,
this
yeah,
game.
for sure.
So that was a bad game.
Mm-hmm.
That was a bad game. Of course, UT picked up a big win against Rice this past weekend.
Yeah, they better have. Dang. I think if they lost that game this weekend, I think everyone would have lost faith already.
Oh no, yeah. The season would have been over by then.
Yeah.
Another big game that also stood out to me was UCF versus Stanford. Now, this UCF team gets a lot of flack, of course, because they're like, oh, they should be in the playoff. They shouldn't be in the playoff.
Yeah.
They've won so many games. And, of course, it's been against opponents who, they in their conference aren't too good. I mean, you got, Temple, you got SMU, you got, it's not the best teams. Let's be real.
But I mean, they're beating
Memphis.
them. Like it's not like close games. They're beating them.
Yeah.
So
Except teams like Memphis where they're like in shootouts.
Yeah.
But they played against Stanford this past weekend. Tiger Woods was in attendance for his past alumni of Stanford. But UCF destroyed him 45-27. I think at one point it was 45-13 or something like that.
Jeez.
And they just kind of laid off the pedal.
Yeah, I would. Dang, if I was up that much.
But Brandon Wimbush looked pretty impressive in that game, and I think that was an all-around good win on the resume for UCF. And granted, it's not against a great Stanford team, but it's still a win against a non-conference opponent who's pretty well known or pretty prestigious in its own right.
Right. Any more big games stood out?
I mean, A&M dominated. Clemson destroyed Syracuse.
I think that was expected.
Yeah, sold out Carrier Dome too.
Yeah.
First time it's been sold out since.
What about Trevor Lawrence? Did he have a good game? Breakout game?
He did pretty well.
Kind of the same, yeah.
I mean, yeah, he balled out.
I mean, he said, he really doesn't care about the stats anymore. He just wants to win.
It was a packed crowd. I've never seen the Carrier Dome like that, and it's the first time it's been sold out since Donovan McNabb was playing for them.
Oh my God, that's
a long time
sad.
ago.
Yeah, that makes me feel old.
You weren't alive when Donovan McNabb was playing for Syracuse.
I know, but he was still in the league like when I was young. So I mean.
Yeah, that is kind of crazy though.
It makes me feel old.
But and then Ohio State destroying Indiana, which
Indiana is not known for football.
They produce good products.
Yeah.
I mean, Jordan Howard, he's from Indiana.
Yeah. Let's talk about the Florida and Kentucky game, man. What happened?
Well, let's be real.
What happened?
It was Kentucky not being experienced in the fourth quarter. Let's be real.
You have a point.
Sure.
We do have all new people.
And prayers up to Felipe Franks. I know that sucked. If you don't know, the Florida quarterback is now out for the season.
Yeah.
Because he was injured.
Mm-hmm.
In the third quarter, they brought in the backup freshman. Just threw lights out against you guys.
This season so far in the college football, man, all these backup quarterbacks are freshmen. They're coming in and lighting people up.
I mean, some are. That's up for debate. Some are, some aren't.
But I mean, they're coming in and like you said, like shooting people out, like throwing the lights out. They're throwing it good.
Yeah, they are killing it though. And I mean, they might not be showing that on the stat sheet.
Yeah.
But for you to get a win, especially when you're down, I think by 2 touchdowns against Kentucky. Especially a Kentucky defense that's always been known for being very stout and playing very great zone and blitz and all that.
There's always a pass rusher too.
Exactly. So I think that's a pretty big win for Florida, and that's probably going to be their hardest opponent for the rest of their schedule.
No, yeah, for sure.
Next to Georgia.
And we'll beat Georgia. It's going to be great. Just like we did almost did last year.
You did not almost beat Georgia last year.
Yeah, no.
We got destroyed.
We got obliterated. Yeah.
So with the backup, I can just see it being like 55-0 real quick.
Oh, wow. Thanks.
No offense, but
dude, we're going to okay.
It's called a harsh reality.
Yeah, all right. Well, okay. With that note, I think we're going to move on to the NFL. Week 2 just was up after last night's game against what was last night's game? Jets and Browns. The Browns caught their first dub of the season. They beat the Giants by 20 points. And
Jets.
What's wrong with the Jets?
Browns beat the Jets.
That's what I said.
So beat the Giants by
I did?
20 points.
Oh.
But
sorry.
To add on to that,
the Browns.
They did beat my Jets pretty bad. I'm not going to lie. I was pretty hurt after the game. Especially when I saw Trevor Siemian go down after, Sam Darnold being out with mono for a bit. So
this Browns thing, man, this is the beginning. This is the beginning.
They still showed some weakness, and granted, let's be real, the Jets are hot garbage.
I mean, yes.
I'm willing to admit that.
They're trash. All they have is Le'Veon Bell.
Next to the Dolphins, this is probably one of the worst teams in the league.
Top 3.
It's Luke Falk at quarterback. Our second-string quarterback's Le'Veon Bell. Literally, listed on the roster, Le'Veon Bell's our second-string quarterback.
Then why wouldn't he play in quarterback?
He did. I think he ran Wildcat a couple of times.
Oh.
So, man, it pains me.
Yeah, it's tough.
It pains me. And especially with all the potential and talent we had. And I think we've already had 10 players who are injured.
Mm-hmm. Look, man, it's a good thing your backup plan's the Cowboys because we're coming.
I mean, that's my main plan. Jets are my backup, if anything. So.
But no, man, the Browns. I think this is the beginning. They just got to get more chemistry and just win games.
Congrats, Odell. You beat a trash team.
Yep. Congrats.
Speaking of Cowboys, how did the Cowboys do this week?
We did great. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Against the Redskins. Everyone thought we were going to take an L.
It started off slow, just like the Giants.
No, yeah, for sure. Yeah. And everyone thought we were going to lose. I mean, granted, Redskins are always a decent team. They always have an all right defense.
No, they've always had a good defense, but offense is always where they've lacked. You got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
Wait. But to add on to your point, while Jackson's going to put on the lights again, the Redskins have always had a great defense. Offense has always kind of been on the slacking side. They've always had good temporary offenses. Of course, we saw this with Alfred Morris and Robert Griffin III.
Yeah.
And that was probably the best.
That was probably like the best.
That was probably the prime of their offense, let's be real. Because that was the most versatile.
And they also made the playoffs that year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, of course, the tragedy of RG3 getting injured. One of my favorite players ever.
He would have been great.
He would have.
No, man. Dak Prescott, he's still showing us that he's confident in the pocket, and he's just lighting people up throwing the ball. You know, he had a touchdown pass to Smith, 51 yards, right in the numbers.
Devin Smith's first ever career catch. It feels like forever ago when I watched him play on Ohio State. So, like, to see him
have that first touchdown,
finally playing, it's kind of weird now because I'm like, oh, you've been around for a while.
Yeah, it's cool because he has an opportunity now to win. So.
Yeah, that is true. Cooper was a little silent in this game, even though he did have the one touchdown and like 50 yards.
And Zeke, he had his first 100-yard game on 23 carries. I mean, that could be a little better, but hey.
I mean,
he had a touchdown too.
Still produced pretty well.
Yeah.
In that whole first half, he was kind of getting stops at the line too every time. It was a little tough to watch on that. But it's good to see the Cowboys actually rolling through a conference now.
I know. We're going to be 4-0 quick.
2-0 already in the conference, which is crazy to think because that's a pretty big advantage already.
And speaking of the lead, the Eagles are in second, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all right. They took the L to the Falcons. Watch the end of that.
Sunday Night Football.
Yeah.
Really incredible game. If you weren't watching, I mean, we've had back-to-back weeks of just great
it's great,
night football.
It's close games.
Like Monday Night Football, we had the Saints the week before, and now this past week we've had, that Falcons game.
Mm-hmm.
And it went down to the wire. Julio Jones with the game-winning touchdown, essentially.
It was awesome.
And then Eagles were rolling down the field, and 4th and 8, just couldn't get it done.
Yeah, Ertz couldn't get that 1 yard. I'm very proud of the Falcons' defense.
That was some Kevin Dyson type stuff. Let's be real. Like Kevin Dyson in the Super Bowl for the Titans, 1 yard short.
Yeah, almost got it. Yeah.
That's what it reminded me of, and I was like, oh,
that's rough.
The pain.
No, man, but it was great as a Cowboy fan to go to school and talk trash about the Eagles.
It's just great. It's just a great day when the Eagles lose. Let's be real.
I mean, I think everyone can agree with that, unless you're a Phillies fan.
If you're a Philly fan, we don't care what you think.
Yeah, get out.
Let's be real.
I'm just kidding. Like and comment, subscribe.
Only Philly fans we will accept are Sixers fans.
No.
Okay.
We don't like the Sixers.
Moving on to any other games you saw this weekend?
That
really stood out to you?
The Colts and Titans game. That was a good game as well. Jacob Brissett. Is that how you say his name? Whatever. Jacob, same thing. Brissett. No. Look, man. He's showing up. He's winning games. All right. He's throwing it to Ty just like him and Andrew Luck were. All right. Right in the numbers. They're making the playoffs.
Now, I watched a lot of the games. That is one game I did not watch.
It was a good game. The Colts came back and won the game and on a game-winning touchdown.
Who scored the game-winning touchdown?
Dang, dude, I don't know. I only saw the highlights.
Oh.
Dude, I know. I need to do my research.
Yeah.
But I mean,
so if you want to go watch Colts versus Titans highlights, you can.
Go watch it.
I didn't watch the game, so I'm not even aware of that.
Another good game that we had: the Bears and Broncos. The Broncos that was a hard loss.
I did watch that game because two sides of my families root for those teams.
Yeah.
I have a side of the family that roots for the Bears, and I have a side of the family that roots for the Broncos. Broncos and Bears was probably one of the worst offensive slugfests I've ever seen. Mitchell Trubisky, it amazes me that they drafted Mitchell Trubisky before, who was in that draft? Patrick Mahomes?
Yeah.
Deshaun
Yeah,
Watson.
he was drafted 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
So
because Deshaun Watson went
It amazes.
first.
What were the Bears thinking? What were they seeing in Mitchell Trubisky over Grant? Okay, Patrick Mahomes. He was kind of a wild card, but Deshaun Watson coming off a championship year,
He
probably
beat Alabama. Come on.
And sure, college doesn't translate the NFL and all that, but obviously Deshaun Watson had the attributes to be a great quarterback. So.
And he's showing it too.
No, yeah, and. It just amazes me that the Bears saw something in Mitchell Trubisky.
I don't know, man. I think it's only his, second year? Second or third?
Yeah, so
I mean we do have to give him a chance, but, I mean, he needs to learn how to throw the ball.
Yeah, especially as a starting quarterback. And sure, it's not that amazing of an offense. And sure, Tariq Cohen, wasn't making some catches, but that's besides the point. You should know how to throw.
Yeah. But no, I think that really concludes the NFL.
Oh, yeah. Shout out Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray bowled out, too.
He did, but he still took the L.
I don't care. He still had, 300 yards.
Oh, my God. Yeah, but if he starts getting dubs, I'll respect him. Okay, anyway, I guess we can move on to the predictions for the last segment of Game Day Everyday. I'm not good at this, Gus. The score is not looking good right now.
Yeah, so a quick recap. We didn't go over the predictions last week because we had Jamari on the show, of course, and he was in place for me. And if you want to go watch that, it was a great interview.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of good questions and answers being asked and replied, of course.
Shout out Jamari.
Yeah, so thank you, Jamari, for being on the show. Secondly, we made our picks the day before that episode was filmed. So our first game was the Packers versus the Vikings. I chose the Packers because I saw a lot. We talked about this before, and we were talking about the Packers and Vikings or whatever. We were just having a conversation about it. And, I agreed with you. I said this Vikings team is probably a really good, well-rounded team. You got a great rushing game with Dalvin Cook.
Yeah, I think their offense is better than Green Bay.
Stephon Diggs didn't show up at all, though. I think he only had one catch.
Mm-hmm.
Adam Thielen, of course, is a great receiver, but he didn't really show up. Packers just took the dub here. I picked the Packers, despite me agreeing with Jackson on the Vikings. Jackson, of course, picked the Vikings.
Yep.
And
it's all right.
And the Packers took the dub here, so I got that point. 8-4 as of right now.
Yeah, rats.
Iowa versus Iowa State. You chose
I chose Iowa State.
Yeah, and I chose Iowa, the ranked Big Ten team. And I'm like, you know what? I don't really watch any of these teams, but Iowa State scared me with that Northern Iowa game that went to triple OT.
Mm-hmm.
So I chose Iowa. Iowa got the win there.
9-4.
9-4. Florida versus Kentucky. We already talked about this earlier. Florida won.
They got lucky. It's okay.
Off an amazing comeback.
Yeah, it's all right. They got lucky.
Yeah, so I chose Florida. You chose Kentucky, of course, and it's now 10-4.
Yeah, look at you go. You're enjoying it.
I am, actually. This is
pretty
great. Yeah. Moving on to game number 4, and that's FSU versus Virginia. You thought FSU was going to bounce back after, a rough couple of past weeks?
I would. Because you would think they would be like, oh, wow, we lost. Let's actually win something.
But
like, really?
Knowing FSU, I didn't even know Virginia was ranked before I made that pick, too.
Yeah.
I just went with them because I know FSU, once they start losing, they don't have any mindset to win for some reason.
And that's really annoying. I'm never picking them again.
But yeah, I chose Virginia. Virginia won there.
Yep.
Finally, Pittsburgh versus my Penn State, the big rivalry.
We actually tied on that one. I actually got that one.
Yeah, so
I think that was an easy pick.
We both chose Penn State there, and it was a great game too.
Mm-hmm.
It really went down to the wire. There was no offense being played that game at all.
Yeah, I mean, those games are fun to watch, but I mean, if it's like that the entire game, then...
The crowd was incredible. I think literally it was everything was white, everyone wore white.
That's cool.
Stadium,
yeah.
So it kind of looks like
everyone's waving the flag too. That's always cool.
Yeah. So it was pretty great. It was a pretty great atmosphere, and Penn State caught a big win against Pittsburgh.
Yeah. Well, the score is 11-5 now.
12-5.
12-5. Well, I need to step it up.
You need to get some work in.
Yeah. I'm sorry I'm disappointing everyone who believed in me. But it's okay, because, I'm the Jackson Davis. I can come back from this, okay? This concludes Game Day Everyday 43. Game Day Nation, if you haven't joined us What are you doing? Click subscribe. We're trying to get to 50 subs. 2 away. 2 away.
As we stated earlier, Jamari interview.
Yeah, dude, that man had some great answers about Boswell basketball. He's ready for this season. Just go check him out.
Yeah.
What else was I gonna say? Also, comment down below what you think about the topics today. Tyson Fury. Let us know about the headlines. USA. What do you think about USA losing? Is this gonna happen in the future next Olympics? Just let us know. And all right, man, we'll see you in 44 Thursday.
Adios,
amigos.